Can you see the letter H within this starburst design? This is called the starburst letter shape. I chose H for Highland. You'll need a white paper, a ruler, a pencil, and something to color with. To begin, start by making a really big block letter. And I recommend using something that you can erase because you'll use a guideline first. The guideline is just the letter. See how I just made a regular H? Now I'm drawing on each side of the H evenly around, and I'm trying to make it really thick. If it's too skinny, it's going to be really frustrating to color. Now I am just making my H stand out a little bit better so that you can see it on the video. You can also make a bubble letter. This is just a quick one. I think if I made it again, I'd make it bigger. Alright, so now I am erasing the guideline. The guideline was just a regular letter H inside. Okay, so at first I was going to color with light green and I thought the lines were too dark, so I made it lighter. But then for some reason I grabbed black when it was time to color, so that's okay. Anyways, there's my H. Now we're going to make the starburst, which look like lines that radiate out from the center. Make a dot near the middle. It doesn't have to be in the middle though if you want to try it off to the side. Now put your ruler right where the dot is. And then bring it all the way out off the paper. Notice that I'm rotating the paper. And I'm not rotating the ruler every time. See, I just turned the paper. Now sometimes the ruler is just going to touch up against the dot anywhere. Or sometimes it'll touch up like right at the side of the ruler. See how it's just at the side? It really doesn't matter. Just make sure you start the line where the dot is, not necessarily the end of the ruler. It looks like I'm putting the end of the ruler there most of the time though, but sometimes you could just put like the middle of the ruler there. Hopefully that makes sense. Also, notice that the space around the outside by the edge of the paper is kind of the same. Looks like maybe 3 finger spaces, 2 or 3. It's time to color, but I want you to just think of one of those triangles at a time. They look kind of like pizza slices. Let's start closest to the dot and make a pattern that kind of goes every other. So in this case, it's going to be black, white. I'm going to make a dot for where I color. I started closest to the center. I did dot, skip, dot. All right, let's look at the second pizza slice. It's so tiny, that little white shape, so I dotted above it so I knew to color the space that was opposite. So if you look under this big shape I'm coloring, you'll see a very tiny triangle. It's important that you're looking so closely at the tiniest shapes near the center. Now we're on the third pizza slice. See that tiny shape? That's what I'm talking about. All right, I'm kind of going fast now. You can dot more than one at a time if you really get the hang of it, but I noticed it was easier to just color one at a time because it was easier to picture what was black or what was white. I hope you enjoyed this challenging block letter op art shape, starburst letter shape.